I am excited about bringing on my next guest. I have with me Howard Snader. He's a certified criminal attorney and author. He's been on my show many, many times. Welcome back to the show. You've written a book. I want to talk a little bit about you. Tell them about yourself and why you wrote your book.
Well, Carol, it's great to be back, and having practiced now in the criminal defense arena for 30 years, it got to the point where my standard letter about how the criminal process works, client would hire me, I'd write a letter saying these are the basic steps. And that letter kept getting longer and longer. And finally I said, you know what, I'm just going to put it all in a book. So I've written a book, Arizona's Criminal Procedure and Process, and I make it available literally to anybody that raises up a hand and wants to know how Arizona's process works.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, it's very important to tell them why. And you always say something that's pretty interesting, which is why you wish you didn't have to have it, but you need it, and you might never know when you need it. It's a card that, what is it?
Yeah, it's my business card, and it's my little tagline. And doing criminal defense work, it's not like other attorneys or other professions where you can think about it and decide who's best for you at a given time in the future. When you need a criminal attorney, it's usually because the cops are either banging on your door or the cuffs are getting slapped on your loved one. It's one or the other.
Right.
So it's a decision you need to have right away. So to have an attorney like myself that's openly available to answer questions, we don't charge for the consults, but we want to make sure people are informed as to what their options and choices are, because I guarantee you the cops and the prosecutors aren't going to tell them.
You've been doing this for how long?
I started my 30th year, 31st, I don't know. I started in 87, so I guess 31 years now.
Well, it may be you. It may be someone that you know, and that's what I love about my show, is that it gives out information for people out there. And I mean, obviously we know that it's good things that can happen to people who are good. Bad things happen to good people, and things can happen anytime. But this book is almost like a quick guide. Why would someone want it?
Well, think about it this way. When you're going through a procedure, whether it's a medical procedure or how to wire something in your house, you want to know what the instruction manual is going to say. And in certain cases, you're not qualified to do things on your own. One of those is to step before a judge and try and figure out what the end game is going to be. With criminal law, people think they know it because they've seen it on TV. At best, TV gives you an accurate, cut-down version of how the process works. But to know what it takes for the officers to make an arrest, what it takes for going from the arrest to seeing a judge within 24 hours for your initial appearance, again within 10 days for an arraignment, to go from the arraignment through the pretrial conferences into a plea or a trial setting, a sentencing, the appeal. There are numerous steps in the process. Each one has their own little hiccups, and this book just gives you a general overview of where the problem areas are, gives you a general overview of what each of those simple processes are. And hopefully it's enough to realize that you're in over your head. Give me a call so we can walk you through personally.
Now, there's a special number that you call, and everyone's going to get a book. So you've got 27 of them that you said that you've got on hand right now. They call 602-483-4200, and they go there and they call in and they'll get the book sent to them right out?
That's going to be live answered, and the books will be sent out the next business day.
Now, he's all about helping you and helping you understand the process. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. The book is called A Client's Quick Guide to Arizona's Criminal Procedure and Process. He's been doing this for 30 years, and all he wants to do is help you understand what may have happened to you. Again, you call this number, 602-483-4200. You got to check him out on his website. It's SnaderLawGroup.com. So, okay, the holidays are here. This is Thanksgiving, okay, right now, right around the corner. Everybody has now been, getting a little bit of tipsy, and anything could have happened to them. Why did you want to come on right now?
It's a good time for my business, but I look for, in terms of criminal defense, alcohol usually plays a big part in what I do. And when you have family gatherings, we got the domestic violence issues, we got the alcohol issues, the drug issues. God forbid you're involved in an accident. We don't want that to happen. But who are you going to call? My tagline is, here's my business card. It's the card you need to have but never want to need. Do you know that person or that family that has the kid that doesn't come home at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, that's hanging around with the wrong kids? you better have my card handy because at some point you're going to get that phone call. I also tell my clients, don't save it under my name, save it under criminal attorney, because when you're stressed out that night, you're never going to remember Howard Snader. You're just going to remember criminal lawyer, and I'm board certified and been doing it forever.
So you want to talk a little bit about what board certified means too, but if they want to put it in their phone and they want to put that under criminal defense attorney,
Yep.
Is this the number you want them to call?
Actually, that number would be 602-957-3300.
Okay, so here's the thing. I will tell everyone, I love to say this on my show. Right now, put it in your phone. Put it under criminal defense attorney, which is 602-957-3300. We're also talking about the book today. It's something that you really want to talk about. You're very passionate about it and excited. It's your second book.
It's my second book.
Let's talk a little bit more about it. Go ahead.
Two things. They need to understand that all the phone numbers will work in my office. So whether it's the 602-483-4200 for the book or the 957-3300, either one will get through to our office.
Okay, good.
Okay. The purpose of the book was all the FAQs, all the frequently asked questions I would get in emails, chat messages throughout the day. That's what I wanted to expand on. So what happens when you see a judge after your arrest? That's called the initial appearance. The judge will set your release conditions. If you can get a hold of an attorney within that 24-hour window to go make the appearance, it could be the difference between you posting a bond or getting out on no bond. It could be the difference between you wearing an ankle monitor or not wearing an ankle monitor. It could be the difference between you being allowed to return home or not going back home. Okay, great. You miss us. You don't get us at the initial appearance. Then you want us at the arraignment, again, to fight for your release conditions. You want us to negotiate with the prosecutor. You want us involved in the status conferences. You want us to take a look at all the police reports and all the other stuff that goes on in the defense of a case. Each step has its own way of challenging a prosecutor. You need to have an experienced attorney to know how to maximize your options as you proceed through the system.
Now, the number to call for the book, and he's got 27 on hand right now, and they're going to get it for free. 602-483-4200. Check him out on his website. It's SnaderLawGroup.com.
I truly hope nobody in your audience personally needs the book. I'm hoping it's their friends that need the book.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. The people that are listening, and I happen to know, too, that, again, it could be anyone today that this can happen to, because today our law here in Arizona are the strictest. So, unfortunately, you could have a drink and just be at a Thanksgiving party or whatever, and here what happens? You get pulled over. You're a very good person. Nothing was wrong, but you get pulled over and you get a DUI. And you need to call someone like you.
You know, and these both, I'm going to talk about two recent cases. One was yesterday, and it was a sex crimes case. And had the client not made a single statement to police, they would not have charged the case. The only information they have was the statement from the victim who was drunk and my client that was drunk. If they did not have, all they had was the statement of a drunken victim, no forensics, no admissions, there's no case. My client made statements. He ended up having to take a plea bargain to the case. Case I had today, client in a divorce matter is facing some issues with the Department of Child Safety, DCS. And he had me involved with DCS and with law enforcement. We've already knocked down the criminal case. But having knocked down the criminal case, DCS was still investigating. We hopefully knocked that down today without my client having to make a statement. So it's knowing when to remain silent, knowing where you are in the process, and who you can contact to try and knock the investigation down.
The number to call is 602-483-4200. Let me say, the book is called A Client's Quick Guide to Arizona's Criminal Procedure and Process. Howard Snader has been doing this for 30 years. He is a certified criminal attorney and now author. Second book, he is here to give you, to arm you with information so that you make good decisions. And maybe that the decision is that you need to just give him a call. I think everybody should have the book. I really think that this book should be in everybody's home, because anything can happen to anybody anytime.
Oh, absolutely. And when they get the book, there's actually one other promotion that's with the book, and inside that is a discount on our Safe and Secure program. So even if you're not under investigation, the bookmark that comes with it, has a pull-out business card. It also has a coupon for the Safe and Secure program. You give us a call, we'll get you enrolled in that program also.
We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the program. Now, again, put this number in your phone. If you need him, put it under criminal defense. It's 602-957-3300. Call for the free book. They're there to give it to you. It's 602-483-4200. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Howard Snader. He's a certified criminal attorney and author. And before we went to a break, you had mentioned that you have a Safe and Secure program. Well, tell us about that.
I have the Safe and Secure program. I created it because a lot of clients are not in a position to hire us for the full case. It can be really, really, really pricey. For any of my clients, I automatically enroll them into the program. For those that just need a second opinion down the road, for those that might need like a document review at some point, I've created the Safe and Secure program. In my mind, it has a value of $950 because that's 2 hours of my time that they're guaranteed, 2 hours of attorney time to review documents, not to proactively litigate anything, but to sit down and basically they've prepaid for the ability to come on in, speak with an attorney, and try and get answers to their questions. That's on any topic.
I'll tell you something. One thing I know about you is that you're out there to help people. You really are, to educate them.
I try.
Absolutely help them, and little things can happen that could really be bad, unfortunately, and it can ruin your entire life, correct?
It's the allegation alone, in many cases, that was the topic of the first book, Busted, is how the simple allegation alone can really derail you. Nowadays, everybody's getting fingerprint cards, and as soon as you're contacted by police, in many cases, if you're under investigation, you lose your fingerprint card. People think in terms of security-related work. I think in terms of teachers, realtors, bankers. If they don't have the fingerprint card, they're not able to remain employed until that's cleared up, and that could be months down the road.
It's really important that you check this out. The website is snaderlawgroup.com. He's been doing this for 30 years, and he wrote, this is his second book. The book that we're talking about now is A Client's Quick Guide to Arizona's Criminal Procedure and Process. I believe that everyone should have this book just because anything can happen to anybody at any time, and it's good information. Now, you're giving the book away. You've got 27 that were given away.
I got 27 ready to go right now. Otherwise, people are going to have to wait a little bit for the reprints.
But here we go. The number to call for the book, it's 602-483-4200. Call there, get the book. He's ready to send it out, and you'll have it in a couple of days. I want to talk a little bit about this book and the table of contents. You know, you have a lot of different things in it. What would be the number one thing that you would want to talk about?
A lot of people... I broke up the table of contents in the way that people ask their questions of me.
Okay.
So the first one is, hey, is this a felony or a misdemeanor? Well, misdemeanor is on the lower end of things, but in Arizona, everything is a criminal offense on some level. It's amazing. And when you think in terms of felonies, now we're talking about potential prison time where they literally lock you up, send you away for a matter of years. A misdemeanor, technically the longest sentence you could receive is a 6-month sentence in the county jail, which makes you work eligible in most circumstances. So obviously felony, misdemeanor, different weight of offense, different way you're labeled moving down the road in your future. So I want people to understand what the difference is between the two. Then I get into the court procedures. And the court procedures, literally, as the table of contents says, it's from your arrest through trial. I don't lose too often, so hopefully not through appeal.
Well, I think it's really important for also people to understand the importance of hiring an attorney, especially when you think you can do it yourself. You can't. It's not something that you can do yourself. You sometimes need some help to help you get those plea bargainings down and all sorts of things.
Well, even on what people think is a simple case, do you know how to request the police reports? Do you know how to question a police officer before you get to court? If you're in court, do you know how to present your evidence, have your witnesses prepared? Do you know how to make an argument? You're held to the same standard, the same rules of procedure, the same rules of evidence as an attorney is. You don't get a free ride. So unless you really are an excellent speaker, somebody who's very, very smart, and is at the same time not smart enough to have an attorney and think they can do it on their own, great. This book will give you a little bit of a guideline.
How about knowing the law?
Knowing the law is, I don't want to say it's not as important. What I've taught in my office, I've tried to teach my staff there are three ways of doing things. There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's my way that I've learned how to deal with things over 30 years. And I tell my staff, just don't do it the wrong way. If they do it my way, then they've got 30 years of experience behind them, and I've learned tried and true measures that have worked for thousands of my clients, and we try to duplicate that with each case. Doesn't matter if it's a simple misdemeanor or a felony, we go through the same process. And with my staff, with my attorneys, it's, have you read the rules? Have you read the statutes? Have you figured out what needs to be done on each case? And for those of us that have been doing it 30 years, I still go through the same steps. You and I have talked before. I used to. This is my first year retired from refereeing high school football. And I'm always amazed every year. Go back through the rules classes. I know the rule book backwards and forwards. It's the same thing in criminal law. It's a statutory code. You need to know what is there every time. It's always changing. And the way the courts interpret it is always changing. So you always got to stay up to speed on everything.
He wrote the book for you to understand, and then when you may not need his help, you need to call him. Now, the book, you're going to get it by calling 602-483-4200. Check Howard out. It's SnaderLawGroup.com. What else should we talk about in the tables of contents here?
Well, people need to understand that at status conferences, pretrial conferences, omnibus hearings, those are all fancy words for just a status to tell the judge what's going on. A trial, sometimes it's with a jury, sometimes you're not entitled to a jury, but how does a trial work? Burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. The state has that burden. How do you challenge that? Okay? If you lose, there are certain timelines to file your appeal. If you don't file it within the timelines, you lose the right to appeal, and you're stuck with the sentencing. So again, each one of these steps, and probably most importantly, since 98% of all cases are pled out, meaning that you're charged with one crime, and in many cases, you are given an opportunity to take a reduced sentence to avoid the risk of what might happen to you at trial. That's a plea offer, and they may be good, they may be bad. You've got to weigh that out based on all the factors, knowing where things may settle down the road depending upon your choice.
Well, it's a good time that you're here, but I tell you something, people go out and they do things they don't mean for anything to happen. I know a lot of people could be driving with their kids in the car, and you've been to let's say a party, and you have your child who might be underage, and they will get a felony for that, if I'm not mistaken.
They can.
So, there's a lot of things you need to think about, and why this book is so important for everybody to have. Again, I love saying this. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know. Maybe your friend has a kid that, got himself in trouble or whatever. This book is for them. Call the number 602-483-4200. Howard Snader is there to help you guys. He likes you to put the number in the phone under
criminal attorney, because you're never going to remember my name. And hopefully they remember they heard it from your show at Networking Arizona.
Here's the thing, though. You guys, put it in your phone, and because it's so important for everyone to have, just in case. The number is 602-957-3300. Call for the book. Get it. Everybody should have it. It's 602-483-4200. And tell, again, both phone numbers go to the office.
Both phone numbers are going to be live answered. We just know that the one phone number is specifically for the book. Certainly, if you call the other one, you'll get and ask for the book. You can get that too.
So we have a couple of minutes, okay? Mm-hmm. And I want to talk a little bit. So you say the number one question that you get asked is this a felony or misdemeanor?
Actually, the number one question at the get-go on a case is, can I get my husband out of custody? Can I get my brother, my boyfriend out of custody? And it's usually because the guy's the one who's been arrested. Mm-hmm. And the rules for release are tenuous. How you present that, the public defenders are real good. They'll file the motion right away. We might sit on it an extra day or two while we gather our additional information, because you only get one shot at it. And if you don't present it the right way, you lose. So I'd rather take the extra day or two, get the character letters, line everybody up so they're ready to go to court, and then file our motion to max. This is how we do everything else. We don't do anything until we're ready to do it. It may be an extra day or two, but it's done right, and because of that, our success on certain issues is really good.
So about the book, we have just about a minute or so to go. Tell us what you would want them to know.
There are two things I want the audience to know. One is the least smart thing they can do is think they can do it on their own. The least smart thing they can do is, if they've been contacted by police, to call up and start talking. Okay? Those are the two biggest don't ever do's in the world that I can tell people. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Exercise it. Okay? Anything you say can and will be used against you. Absolutely. I have two more cases even now where I get the my cousin Vinny denial. Okay? You know, I shot the clerk. And that's what goes in the police report. In black and white, it's an admission. In real life, it's not. So talking to the cops, it's never reported accurately. And you really need to protect yourself by getting an attorney on board as early as you can.
Well, what do you say about your card?
It's the card you need to have, but you never want to need it. That way you can give it to somebody else when they're in trouble.
Let me tell you something. I believe that everybody should have this book. It's fantastic, and I'm so glad you wrote it. He wrote it for you guys out there. It's a client's quick guide to Arizona's criminal procedure and process. The number to call for it, there's 27 there right to get to you in the next couple of days. So give him a call at 602-483-4200. Check him out. He's been doing this for over 30 years. It's SnaderLawGroup.com.